Okay, this is how I asked for more money at one of my jobs. If you haven't seen the video of me talking about how one of my direct reports was getting paid higher than me, go to my Keeping It Corporate playlist and you'll find it there. I love this story. Immediately when I found out, I actually called the VP. I was really close with this person. They used to bring me in on all their contract deals, meaning every time we got a new client, they asked for me to give input in the overall program or product strategy for these pharma clients. Keep in mind, again, I was at the senior manager level, and this was a VP asking for my advice, not asking directors or senior directors. When I called them to tell them that my direct report was making more and how I found out, they were completely silent on the phone, almost like, darn, I can't believe, like, she found out. And I was honestly going off. I was not polite about it at all because at that point I was so fed up and felt so betrayed. I was telling them how disappointed I was and how unacceptable it was compared to all the work I was doing and what I was getting compensated. The response they gave me was just like, oh, it happens sometimes in corporate America. Now, we all know that's not true. Like, I feel like it's so unlikely for a white man to be in an executive leadership position and his direct reports get paid more than him. Like, I just don't see that happening. Anyway, in the conversation, I caught myself getting like very, very frustrated, and I didn't want them to have a negative view of me based on my attitude in that conversation. So I toned it down and I apologized. I said, I'm sorry for speaking with so much passion. I'm just really frustrated. I understand where you're coming from. I did not understand where they were coming from, and I was still very angry. But from that moment, I knew, okay, it's time for me to get back on the horse, time for me to get my head in the game and strategize my exit out. So literally from that day, all the recruiters that had reached out to me, like every single day over the past 6 months, I messaged them back saying I was interested in the opportunities. I patiently waited for the CEO to come and talk to me because I knew eventually that the CEO would, because of how much this CEO valued my opinion. So about a month went by and eventually the CEO came and talked to me and was like, oh, you've been very quiet lately. You've kind of taken a step back from like business operation responsibilities. Obviously, I was doing that on purpose. And by the time the CEO had come to talk to me, I already had 7 job offers lined up for way more money and a higher title. And by the way, during those interviews for those other jobs, I was just throwing out random numbers. Like a lot of the jobs that I was interviewing for were an associate director title, but they were willing to give me director level salary just because I asked. Also because I had so many offers to leverage getting more money, more equity, and more benefits. But anyway, the CEO was like, oh, you've been really quiet lately. I heard you were upset about your salary. I want to make sure you're happy. Like, I'm willing to offer you this right now. I see you running this company one day. I feel like you'll be a better CEO than me. I was literally on mute laughing like, nah, it's too late. In situations like that, I always say, if you want more money, just leave. Because if a company has to wait until that type of situation to give you what you deserve better.